I think while this is clearly a celebratory moment for the LGBT community, I mean, this gay marriage thing is really quite astounding. I mean, remember, it was only 12 years ago in 2003 that the sodomy laws were declared unconstitutional. And here we are 12 years later welcoming gay and lesbian couples into the institution of marriage. So there's a lot to celebrate. But I think the real question for the LGBT community, or at least the kind of judgment that I believe is fair to make of us, is whether or not we will use this moment of forward momentum to begin fighting for justice for all, not justice just for us, right? And we have a whole lot of people in this country for whom America is not yet welcoming or affirming. Clearly for African Americans who have this horrendous history of slavery. I mean, the evil done to them is almost indescribable, and the remnants of that are continuing to cripple African Americans. But we also have got, we have immigrants in this country, both documented and undocumented. We've got dreamers who live in fear that their families will be torn apart by deportation. Just as our families are now protected by the gay marriage thing, are we going to fight for other kinds of families, like families that may be literally pulled apart by deportation? We've got people who live in wheelchairs. We've got people who live in poverty. There are all kinds of people at the margins. And I think the moral question for the LGBT community is, are we going to use our experience of oppression as a tiny window into what it must be like to be black or Hispanic or undocumented or handicapped or poor in America? Are we going to use it as a way of understanding the oppressions that come for those kinds of folks and then throw our weight behind them? We have been unbelievably successful, and I will go out on a limb here and say I think one of the reasons this has happened so fast is that our movement has been largely propelled forward by white gay men, and their whiteness and their maleness is the key, one of the keys to our success. Now, it's not to say that a lot of other people haven't done a lot of hard work, but I think we have to own up to the fact that the public face of the LGBT movement is the white gay man who's arguing with his partner about where to go for brunch on Sunday, when
after church.
Of course, after church. But the more typical LGBT situation are two African American lesbians raising 3 children at or below the poverty level in Mississippi. Right? Mm-hmm. And so we've just got to pay attention to the ways in which all of those oppressions intersect with one another. And I think, as I say, the moral question is whether we're going to throw our weight behind that or not.